I spoke to, as I say, the Dutch Defense Minister and asked him very specifically, if the Spanish have got an opt-out, what does that mean for context and does that undermine a broader agreement? Well, he doesn't think the Spanish have got an opt-out. Listen in.
I don't think Spain gets an exception because they will sign the joint declaration tomorrow, and the rules that we have within NATO also apply to Spain. So they also need to take their responsibility. They also committed to the military plans 2 weeks ago, and I expect Spain also to fulfill their commitment.
That was Ruben Brekelmans talking to me earlier, who pretty clearly saying that the Spanish have to A, sign up, and B, keep to the commitments as well. Look, let's just put this again in a little bit of context. Since the original lambasting back in 2018, which I think Europe absolutely deserved, and everyone will remember it was basically pretty much directed at Frau Merkel and German defence/economic energy policy, where they were getting cheap Russian gas and oil from the Russians and relying on US defence as well. There is no doubt about it. We're talking about a completely different Germany now. Friedrich Merz is an Atlanticist. He has committed to a 500 billion euro infrastructure fund, plus an open-ended defence fund. The Bundeswehr, which was quite frankly a joke a few years ago, by the way, the Defence Minister of Germany, 2 points for anyone who can remember who it was during the Merkel years. Yes, correct, it was Ursula von der Leyen. Well, she's changed now, the Germans have changed, and the Bundeswehr is rearming and trying to do so very aggressively and higher as well. But even now, at this moment, with the first parts of that rearmament coming in, the Germans, which are one of the biggest spenders in Europe now in terms of pure numbers, still spend circa $100 billion on their defence. The Brits, they're pretty good. They spend around about $80-odd billion on defence. The French coming in, again, third, around about 64 in terms of pure numbers. The Americans still spend the best part of $1 trillion on defence. Now, that's not just NATO, but that's $1 trillion as well. So you can quite easily see, you can quite easily hear the justification from the US camp saying, OK, Europe, that's fine, but you need to step up. You need some form of what they're calling equalisation as well. Now, how this is done and how one deals with the US having less responsibility, there's a lot of contention about that. We can talk about that a lot also over the next couple of days.